welcome everyone to our weekly AI news stream. With me is Matthias. I'm sure by now you already know him. So in this stream we have prepared a lot of new interesting technologies that came out in the last couple of days. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So the first thing we will talk about is Cloud2, and this is a new large language model that was released by Anthropic this week. And it's also available for API access right now, so you can actually start building with this. And like Cloud2, the user input can be up to 100,000 tokens, which is super useful for all kinds of applications regarding large language models. And to actually put this into a comparison, I'm using the Vercel AI Playground, which is super useful if you want to compare the outputs of two different LLMs. So my input to both of these models was to explain a combustion engine to me. Here, and right here, you can maybe pause the video for a second. You can see that these were the outputs. So GPT-4 went a little bit more into detail. But yeah, overall, Cloud2 also did a pretty good job explaining a combustion engine. So yeah, I can really recommend if you want to test out the capabilities of different models, go to the Vercel playground and yeah, you can test around with the same input with different models. Yeah, it's super useful for a direct comparison without writing a lot of code on your own or like opening different playgrounds from these different companies and then playing around there. So it's super cool stuff. It's available as API, so yeah, I highly recommend checking it out. Something else
Nice.
I found on LinkedIn is that you can actually reproduce the OpenAI functions capabilities with this. So right here in the video, I will start this from the beginning. So someone inputted a TXT document where he basically, right here you can see that this is a function. And now he's passing the description of this function, similar to OpenAI functions, to this large language model in this TXT file. Then he asks one question that should not call a function, so it's just responding normally. And now he inputted a question that should just call a function. So, okay, can you get me the stock price for Apple? And now you can see that the model basically returns call functions, get stock price with this, I'm not sure what it's called, symbol, I think, for the Apple stock. So yeah, pretty cool to see that you can actually recreate this function capabilities with other large language models too. I actually tried this for myself with our new lab team creation dashboard bot. The only thing I noticed is that it was significantly slower than GPT-4. So yeah, keep this in mind when you want to build something with this, that it's not super real time.
Interesting. And how is the Anthropic Cloud 2.0 comparing to GPT-4, for example?
I mean, you can see this right here. It's about the same as GPT-4. GPT-4 goes a little bit more into detail. Yeah. And you would expect, or basically you can expect everything that you have with GPT-4 models, like all these different parameters that you can play around with, like temperature, things like this. The huge upside with Claude is that you have this 100,000 token context length, which is super useful.
Yeah. I wonder how they do that if they first kind of try summarizing it and then if it's like a two-stage thing potentially.
I mean, that's possible, but I'm not sure about the technical details there that are going on in the background. But from what I've heard, it's actually a real 1K or 100K input length. And yeah, maybe OpenAI will follow up with something like this in the future. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we already seen news about like token length of, I think some code model had token input length of 5 million. or 1 million, like something huge. Yeah, and I'm sure we will see more of this in the future.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I also think quite a lot around it. So it seems to be quite some innovation happening in that field at the moment, kind of how to optimize these models. And it seems that there are quite some little explored paths with it. I don't remember exactly, but I did see something on Twitter. It was about removing 2 layers basically and getting massive prompt size, but basically losing none of the performance or output quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with so much innovation going on, I'm sure that this will change very quickly to a positive to a positive thing that will be even more useful than the things we have right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's jump over to our next topic. I will zoom in a little bit. It's a GitHub repository called pandas AI. And I will show right here what you can do with this. So basically, I'm sure everyone is familiar with pandas data frames. So right here we have a data frame, and then with the help of pandas AI, you can pass in this function the data frame and then a prompt. So right here the prompt is which are the 5 happiest countries, and in the data frame right here you can see that there are countries listed, GDPs of these countries, and then happiness index of these countries. And then what gets returned is like another data frame with the with applied changes from your just natural language prompt, which I think is really cool and really awesome, especially for data scientists. Um, I'm not sure how complex you can make these queries basically right here, but I'm sure this still saves a lot of time and just at most like time for data scientists.
Mm-hmm.
And this just abstracts away a bunch of pandas code that you would have to write on your own basically without this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I recommend checking this out. Here you can even pass in multiple data frames, so that's really great to see. So you can actually do quite complex things with this. So yeah, for everyone who's interested in this repository, it's called Pandas AI. We will link all the important stuff on our LabLab Discord after the stream. So yeah, make sure to join there and check out the AI news channel. All right, and then let's hop over to the next topic. It's another GitHub repository called GPT tokens. And this is especially useful if you are actually building a production grade application with large language models. Because this is a JavaScript based repository, and with this you can basically calculate the cost of your inputs really easily. I actually did this I think last week on my own, and there I noticed that it's actually a lot of work to just code this on your own because you have to calculate your input tokens because they are built differently than the output tokens. Yeah, so stuff like this. And with this, you can just pass in your entire messages array, and then you can basically just print out this nice looking table right here with tokens prompt, tokens completion, and then total tokens. Yeah, and then see the price for all these tokens or the cost of all these tokens really easily. And yeah, I think that's great if you're building like, for example, a hackathon project and you want to calculate some kind of usage cost for your entire project. You can just do this really quick and easily with this repository.
Nice.
Yeah, and they even have like TypeScript ready, so it's type safe, which is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems useful.
Okay, then let's go to the next one. It's called Compagnon app. And this is basically also if you're building in the AI space, this is great to actually, this is a great starter kit to get started. Because right here, you can see the stack of this. They have authentication, they use Next.js, they use a vector database, They use LangChain, they use openai models, and on Replicate, the Vicuna model. They have text streaming with this new Vercel AI SDK. They use Upstash for conversation history, some deployment, and even like SMS/text functionalities. So yeah, if you are building in the AI space and you're looking for like some good boilerplate to get started, where you have all these functionalities already from the start, yeah, I highly recommend checking this out. And for now, you can see right here that this is basically just a chat with some AI personalities. So right here we have Alex. I love talking about books and games, running with the ChatGPT model. So we could just say things like, "Hi Alex, let's run this." And he says, "Hey, how's it going? Ready to chat about some cool stuff." Yeah, so this is just a great boilerplate to get started and yeah, to build cool things even faster.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I did see some stuff around that companion app.
all right. The next one is called GPT Researcher, and this is actually something that I thought will happen much, much sooner, but for some reason it only happened now. And basically what this is an automated research agent, I think you can call it, where you can just
Mm-hmm.
input a task right here. Then from this task, it will generate like a couple of research questions, then scrape multiple sites depending on these questions, summarize the visited sites, and then create like an entire report on all things that were found yeah, during querying these different kinds of sites. Yeah, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really cool. We can even have a quick look at this video right here. So it's kind of similar to AutoGPT, where you just input a prompt and then it goes on by itself and just you're basically researching these topics on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's doing all these different kinds of tasks in the background, summarizing these sources, and then you get this entire report, yeah, just completely written within a couple of seconds, basically. And I think this is really cool and provide like a lot of value. You can see right here that this even outputs like a PDF file of this report.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, here you can see again all these features. So generate research outlines, resources, and lesson reports. Aggregate over 20 web sources. You have this already built web interface. You scrape web sources and export as PDF. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they also have some really good installation documentation right here, so that's good to know. So I will actually give this repository a star because yeah, I think it's really cool and I highly recommend checking it out. Yeah, I think maybe we can also use this internally for some topics and see if this is actually any good with different kinds of tasks.
Definitely. I'm gonna check it out now directly, actually.
Mm-hmm. All right, then something that is also very interesting is that some GPT-4 details apparently have been leaked. And this is pretty technical, but I will just highlight some key numbers right here. So GPT-4 is apparently 10 times the size of GPT-3 at a total of 1.8 trillion parameters. So yeah, that's pretty amazing to see. Also in comparison to other models that are on the market right now, that it's just this much bigger than anything else. Yeah, apparently it was trained on A100 GPUs. And another number that was pretty interesting that I saw is that if their cost in the cloud was about $1 per A100 hour, the training cost for this run alone would be about 36 million US dollars. So yeah, it's not cheap to train these models.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so crazy to see this. Yeah, so if you're interested in more detailed report on this, I will also link this LinkedIn post on the Discord, so you can check it out on your own.
Yeah, I did. But I did see a thread on Twitter where they were pretty detailed going through their infrastructure, how the whole setup was. That thread was then later deleted, but it was very detailed, kind of a bit like this one, but very. It went through the whole basically infrastructure they were using to deliver the results.
Yeah, and like training data was apparently 13 trillion tokens. Also crazy to see this. Yeah. All right. Let's hop over to the next one. So this is a really fun one. So Stability AI has a product called Clip Drop, and they also offer this as an API. So I will show you an example that they are having on their website in a second. But these are basically all the different API products. We have things like in-painting. I'm sure everyone is familiar by now with things like this. But they also have stuff like background removal, super resolution, remove text, text to image. This is also nothing new, but pretty interesting. Replace background, also pretty interesting. And then stuff like portrait depth estimation and also portrait surface normals. I think this is also pretty interesting for a lot of applications. And all these are available right now as API. So yeah, we can look at also at this example right here. It's called Stable Doodle. And what you can do is you could just, I don't know, draw something or like doodle something. So I don't know, maybe let's draw a dog.
I don't know if even AI will recognize that.
That's,
Okay.
oh my god, everyone will have nightmares. Let's give him like this collar right here. And let's enter a prompt. Maybe this will fix it. Let's say a cute dog. You can even set a style. Let's just say digital art. This is an amazing artwork. Maybe we can fix this in some way. Oh my god. Yes. All right, let's just generate this and see if the AI can understand what I meant by this. Okay, it's not even bad. So yeah, you can see that
that one is good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So if you're some kind of digital creator, artist, I think this can come in really helpful. Yeah, and as I said, it's available as API, so if you want to build like awesome applications with this is also possible. Yeah. Okay, and I think that's it from my side already. If you're interested in these kinds of technologies, check out our Lab event page. You can see that we have 2 upcoming hackathons next week and the week after. So we will have an AI agents hackathon and a collaboration with 11 Labs. So yeah, if you're interested in this, I highly recommend checking this out. Yeah, and join the hackathons and build really cool stuff.
Amen.
All right, so thanks to everyone who's watching, and we will see you on next Tuesday with even more AI news. So yeah.
Awesome.
Goodbye to everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.